We can feel with confidence there's a stroke. We're in multiple sclerosis of tissue in that spinal cord may vary. And because of that, it comes and it goes away. It plays games with you. So Sierra, the young lady, started having this when she was 18 or 19. It would go and be gone for maybe 2 years. Then it shows back up again. And the presentation or diagnosing of multiple sclerosis is difficult when you go from doctor to doctor. Because one doctor may see you with the eye problem, you go and visit him, you don't tell him about it. Another doctor may see you when you have some instability in walking, that goes away, you go to another doctor. If one person is seeing you, they may see how varied a proteus, differentiating the presentation is, and they put it all together and say, I think we need to look at your spine. We need to do a certain x-ray to see if these spots are there. They're multiple. And you may have sclerosing at one upper part of the spinal cord and the lower part of the spinal cord. And they can do a spinal tap and get certain proteins secreted in there, and they put it together. So this young lady now is 28. She has 2 sons. One is 8 and one is 9. One is 8 and one is 10. And she was being treated by a doctor in South Georgia who didn't have her interest at heart. So she was really fading fast, where she couldn't walk and she couldn't take care of her children. So she realized, after some encouragement, to seek care someplace else. So she is being treated by a physician, a neurologist at Emory University. And she's really happy because that physician and his whole staff seem to have her interests at heart. She just giggles when she talks about them. She said, when I go there, they make me feel like they want me to come. They seem to be concerned when I have these little, differences of inability to do certain things. But now she's afraid because she hears that they are getting rid of the Affordable Care Act. And she doesn't know what's going to happen to her. She's 28 years old. And she's my niece. So, beautiful young lady, very caring, and she loves her boys. One is Tyler and one is Taylor. And so when you think about people getting ready to demolish and take away Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, they have manipulated us that too many of us look at it as a negative thing. But when I look at the possibility that my niece, and if she doesn't continue to get care, she'll become wheelchair bound, bed bound, and she'll die. I just wanted to put a face on Obamacare. I just wanted to put a face on the Affordable Care Act. We are sort of cushioned in Massachusetts, but as I said in the past, as I say now, we are not isolated to Massachusetts. Some of us have relatives other parts of the country who will be devastated by this form of health care being eliminated. It wasn't set up to be perfect, but it has helped a lot of people. And so now with people gun-hoing on destroying it, eliminating it without a replacement, it's really concerning. It's really concerning to me, and it's really concerning to Sierra, because now she finally found a physician that seemed to care about her. She finally has the opportunity to maybe see her boys grow up, because with the new experimental medication that she's receiving. Sometimes we brag about new medicine and what it's done has been, that it's doing for us, but we forget that it takes research and money. And some of the money comes from the Affordable Care, and that will be eliminated. There's certain things now, we have people in power that don't appreciate, they do not appreciate the importance of health care. They don't appreciate the importance of research. Other countries are really moving more advanced than us because we have people that don't respect science. They don't think it's important, that it drops out of the sky. But when people do research, some of them may work on something for 20 years before they see even an inkling of influence from that. We assume that these people are willing to sacrifice their lives and everything and work for nothing. But that's unfair to expect of them. It's unfair for us to not give them the support, financial, that we need. So when you're sitting there hearing people talking about, oh, the Affordable Care Act is horrible, it wasn't established first as being perfect. But it was established with the hope to have something to start from, to work to improve that. To look at it, repair it, but don't destroy it. And we need to push for that. So when you're sitting there in your luxury of Massachusetts and not caring what happened to other people, shame on you. And shame on those who cry, so we want, children to be born in this country. But I call them pro-life until birth. Because once that child get here, that the nourishment that their mother needs to carry that baby, and then after that child is here, needs food, it's shelter, it needs health care. And to eliminate that or not respect the importance of that is a shame and it's saddening. So when we look at Sierra, and there are others out there, I diagnosed multiple sclerosis on someone in Springfield. I'm not a neurologist, but she came to me for something else, and in talking with her, in hearing her describe what had happened, over 10 years, she had described to me incidents where she had neurological problems. And she came to me because one of the sclerotic areas was a part that feeds her bladder. So she came to me because she had problems with her bladder. Although my kidney specialist, she thought that something was wrong with her as far as kidney, why she was having problems with her bladder. But in talking to her, just reviewing and taking history from her from over 10 to 12 years, I said, has anyone ever used the word MS to you? Has anyone ever said multiple sclerosis? She said, no, I never heard that. But she worked in a place with a big warehouse, and the floors were cement. And in wintertime, those floors would be frozen. And she had to shuffle around in order to keep her job and to work in this warehouse. And cold and heat has very devastating problems on people with multiple sclerosis. And so I looked in her chart, and I saw where about 6 years earlier, someone had done the needed x-ray on her. But evidently no one had ever read it. And in the in the radiologist report, they said these findings are suggestive of multiple sclerosis. There was a diagnosis. Someone had missed it somehow. But looking at her history, so that information was important. So it's important for you to stick with a care person that knows your history. I always say going somewhere where someone knows your name. Because when my patient walk up, I had a patient to come in and was in the waiting room recently. I looked at him, I said, he doesn't usually look like that. I said, what's wrong with you? He said, I took the bus here. I'm not feeling well. So I moved him in immediately because I knew him. I've known him for a period of time, and I knew what I was seeing could not wait. So some of you don't think it's important to have a primary. It's not important to be consistent in your follow-up care or go somewhere where someone is following you. It's important that the physician cares about you, but it's also important that you care about yourself. If you don't like the physician and not going to go and get that care from him or her, you need to rethink that because it plays in your care. Consistency. That somebody knows your name, somebody knows you when you walk in, and that is not consistent. They know you enough to say, this is not my patient. something is wrong here. And sure enough, there was something wrong. So I want you to take the take-home message for you. One, the importance of being consistent, going to someone that cares about you. And if that person doesn't, don't feel ashamed to go and find somebody else. I tell my patients, if you got another body in the closet, you don't have to care about this one. You don't have to, if you got another one, check your closet. I tell them, check your closet. If you like what you see in there, you don't have to come back to me. Anytime you wear out this body, go open your closet and get another one. But too many of us don't have that. I want you to respect that about yourself. You want to go to someone that cares about you, but knowledgeable. You don't want nobody to care about you. Like my mother-in-law go to her doctor. She told my husband, well, I know he's not the best, but he's a nice fella. Forget that stuff. He's a nice fella. Oh, she said, he tries, but I know he ain't the best, but he's nice to me. I want you to go to someone who's nice and knowledgeable. And if they're knowledgeable and not nice to you, rethink it. And if he's nice and not knowledgeable, rethink it. You want the combination. And I want you to acknowledge the fact when they demolish the Affordable Care and Obamacare, whatever you want to call it, there's somebody out there that's going to die. One lady says, if I don't get my chemotherapy, I'm dead. Obamacare gave me that. And if you take away that, I would die. That's somebody abstract, somebody you may not care about or know about. But there's somebody out there like my niece who's going to die. And we're all going to die. But I think it's sad when she's going to die because we did not think it was important to provide health coverage for her when we didn't care. And that is heartbreaking. So to my niece, Sierra, of all my nieces, great nieces, she's the one they say look most like me. She's a nice person, and I hope that's a part of me that she has. Hopefully I'm nice too. But she is such an energetic, loving person. And that's a nice quality. And she takes such good care of her sons. So I want to thank you. I want you to thank you for this time. But I want you to take time to think of other people and not be nonchalant and not think it's important that they are eliminating the Affordable Care Act. You may not have someone in this United States that's going to benefit from it or not be hurt by it being eliminated. But believe me, the research that will be eliminated because Affordable Care Act is not there anymore. Someone was telling me, this physician friend of mine, he's a pediatrician. He said there's special, because of Obamacare, he has been able to provide special care for kids who need intensive care at home. That's going to be eliminated. So that's here in Massachusetts, where they got a $6 million grant that's benefiting kids here in the Springfield area. So don't be so sure that eliminating the Affordable Care Act won't touch you. I hope you have a beautiful day. I pray that you'll take advantage and remember that we celebrate Martin Luther King. And he gave so much, so very much, and so much that he gave is being eliminated. And don't take it lightly. It's not just this day. We need to take every day to celebrate the sacrifices that so many gave that we are unwilling to give. We think it's above us to even raise our finger. And I say shame on you. Again, thank you for this opportunity to talk with you. This is Dr. Shirley Jackson Whitaker. If you need me, call me at 413-733-9666. So it's 413-733-9666. God bless you and have a beautiful day.